Hi, guys, and welcome back to the Pucking Rights Podcast. This is episode 10 now. I'm pretty 10? 10. 10! Yes. We finally hit double digits. That's great. Yay. A celebration is, upon us, I should say. It's weird that we've been doing this for 10 weeks, because nothing's ever really happened. Because, it's the summer, it's the off season. We're finally just starting to kind of get into some training camp stuff, and that's pretty exciting. It's kind of been a slow week. Like, the past 2 weeks have been, there's been so much going on, but, this week has been, really slow for some reason. But, it's probably because we kind of had a short week anyways, since we're changing our recording times. So the podcast will now be out probably Monday or Tuesday as opposed to, the Wednesday or Thursday we usually have it out. But anyways, starting off, the University of Michigan, the boys, they're headed to the Hockey Hall of Fame. How are we feeling about that?
I love it.
We love to see it.
Loving it.
Yeah, I love how they got, one thing from all of them, but Owens is the biggest because the jersey.
Yeah, it's
and then they got Kent's stick, and then Maddie's gloves. Yeah. It's pretty cool that they're getting put in the Hockey Hall of Fame. I think it's because the whole, I think it's the first time the one university program has ever had 3 picks in the top 5, or however many it is.
This is the first time an NCAA player drafted first overall.
Wasn't Eric Johnson in the NCAA?
Oh, that is true. Because he has a late birthday.
Yeah, that was a long ass time ago. Yeah, though. That was so long ago.
Yeah,
that was pre you being born, I think.
Yeah, it was 2006, so I wasn't born yet.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's been quite a long time since a first overall pick has been in the NCAA, I think. I don't think any of the other ones, since they were all mainly OHL or European guys. But yeah, it's pretty exciting, pretty huge for Michigan, and it's pretty cool that that they're going into the Hockey Hall of Fame. I mean, Shane Wright's already there. So is Connor Bedard, but we don't talk about that. We don't talk about it because, sorry, there's a fly in my room. We don't talk about it because they're there with all the other exceptional status players, including Connor McDavid, John Tavares. All of their jerseys are in there. Anyone who's been exceptional status is in there, which means even Joe Velino, I think, his exceptional status is in there too. I remember for a time they would just give exceptional status to anyone, kind of anyone, and then right before Shane it kind of stopped.
Yeah.
And then it came back with him, but then no one else so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of weird, but good for them, you Michigan boys. We love to see it. Their season starts soon.
October 2nd.
According to Thomas Borderlow, who somehow knows the schedule.
He knows.
Even while looking hungover on Showbound.
He knows the first game. I doubt he knows. He's, according to him, because in college they play usually Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah.
According to him, he doesn't know what team they're playing the next week. So.
We love to see it. You know what? That's up to him, though. I'm sure he's in undecided major still.
Probably.
Somehow, in his second year, probably still undecided. Anyways, moving on, we have some more junior hockey stuff. So, the WHL, they are updating their rules to be kind of more like the NHL, I would say. They changed a couple of things. So their offside rule is now the exact same as the NHL. You can lift your foot as long as it's above, like, the blue line. It's like a plain thing. Also, teams will get penalties for face-off violations if it happens twice. Crease violations, they're actually changing that to be more like the double IHF, which means that you aren't technically allowed to be in the crease unless it's, temporary, pretty much. So there's going to be a lot less, standing around and screening, I guess I would say, screening within the crease, which is good for the goalies, I guess. Helmets during a fight. It's misconduct if you take it off, which I know some people were complaining, like, that just encourages players to, like, not take off helmets, which could lead to, like, breaking hands, like that one time Connor McDavid broke his hand against a helmet when he was fighting. But honestly, I don't think that will be a big issue because it's more about the protection of the players, and, a hand injury is way better, I guess, than a brain injury. Yeah. And then they added coaches challenges, same kind of rules as the NHL. If a coach doesn't get it right, there will be a penalty assessed. They also have now, like, reviewable situation goals in which, like, the league technically, or I think it's the league, will be allowed to say, like, if they want to check something, like sometimes in the NHL they do, if something comes back inconclusive. And then there's just no line change after icings, so kind of like the NHL now, where they don't let you change after icings. They used to have it just for any icings behind the blue line, but now they've expanded it to behind the red line. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if any of these changes really affect anything, if it changes stuff with the WHL. I know their preseason just started because I know the Ice and the Pats were playing this week. Carbadard scoring a shorthanded goal because apparently he plays the penalty kill now. Since when did he learn how to do that?
I don't know. I do not know.
From Shane. From Shane, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, Connor Geeky was there, Matt Savoie, all of them. All of them were there. It was exciting. It's pretty exciting to see them kick off. I know OHL preseason was kind of last week, and then it's kind of extending towards the end of this week and continuing on. But yeah, the junior leagues are starting back up, which is really exciting. Can't wait to see what they have in store. I know a lot of them are having camps right now, because I know Flint is having a camp, and Barrie, I also think, is having a camp right now, kind of within the last week. But yeah, it's pretty cool that they're starting up again, and hopefully we'll see a lot of good junior play this year, and hopefully no one gets COVID. And yeah, and I don't want to say ruins things, but like kind of puts teams in difficult situations. And then I guess moving on to NHL news, we're gonna go through Elliot Friedman's 31 thoughts, because there's not like a lot that happened this week, but this kind of sums it all up a little nicely, so we'll go through that. So the first kind of thing that he says was that the Sabres had an introductory meeting with Jack Eichel's like new representatives. Nothing has happened really yet, but after Labor Day there has been more interest, and they've talked again to teams who may be interested, which we know from last 31 Thoughts. 31 Thoughts, or I guess I would say like just in general, we know the interested teams are still Columbus, Anaheim, I think LA has pulled out, Rangers are still there, and then I think Minnesota. So, yeah. So Columbus, Anaheim, Rangers, Wild, and Vegas, I think.
Yeah.
are still in there. But what are we thinking about that?
It's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be interesting what happens because he's in Buffalo right now. I know this because I follow a lot of Buffalo, like Sabres accounts on Twitter, and apparently someone spotted him at a casino, like last week. So he's in Buffalo. I don't know what that means, but he's there at least. It's interesting that when you're looking at like trade packages from these teams, Anaheim is really the only one that has like prospects to give us. And I've said before, I wouldn't be mad about a Jamie Drysdale trade. Power Drysdale as a pair? That'd be good.
I would love that.
Ari would cry, probably. Yeah, but I mean, it's probably gonna be Trevor if it's Anaheim, or maybe not even. You could probably get away with not trading Trevor or Jamie, and trading Tavish. But I don't want Tavish. He's not that great. I don't know why he was drafted 3rd overall. I'm gonna be really, really honest. Like, he's good, but he's not that good. Like, I don't really care for him that much. But anyways, moving on from my vendetta against Mason McTavish, we have Ottawa's GM, Pierre Dorion, saying that Brady Tkachuk will be signed by the time that camp starts, and that negotiations are going okay. Not great, is what we've heard, but apparently what the current long-term deal is, it's something similar to Thomas Chabot's 8x8, and he will be there for the start of camp, which I think is next week, within the next couple of weeks, which is good. What are we thinking about that?
I don't believe him. Like, I do, but like not really.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because we've heard a lot of like stuff from stuff that not necessarily from either camp, but stuff that says that they're not happy with what they've been offered, and like now with Batherson being signed to kind of like a big long-term deal, like it's a pretty big deal. It's gonna be tough, I guess, to work around like the internal cap situation that they have, because I don't think they're at cap floor yet. I don't think they are, but I know that their internal cap isn't much higher than that floor. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that, and if he actually will be there for the start of training camp, because Tim's back, and Brady's, I think, is still chilling in St. Louis. So I don't know. It'll be weird to see. And then a couple more things from 31 Thoughts. We know that now there is some progress on the Quinn Hughes situation. Quinn Hughes is still in Michigan, not in Vancouver, for the start of what I think their dev camp is going to be. And that Elliot Friedman thinks Pettersson will actually wait for Kaprizov to sign and then figure out what to do from there. And I think that's because they estimate probably around the same number. Yeah. Or if Kaprizov doesn't sign, the Wild are probably going to offer sheet Pettersson. And then, yeah, then we'll see what happens. What do you guys think? It's kind of weird that he's waiting for Kaprizov to sign. Like, they're not really even in the same kind of boat.
I was like, huh? That doesn't really make much sense.
Yeah. Unless he knows that there's going to be, like, an offer sheet or something coming, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. Because, like, even if you want to see, like, what kind of number you can get, because you're, like, around, like, even, right? Like, you're pretty even. They're both Calder winners. They their contracts, will probably look similar. It's really, really odd that he's waiting specifically for that.
Yeah.
Like, specifically. Because it's not like the market hasn't been set. Like, Svechnikov set the market, 2 weeks ago when he signed.
Yeah.
And so, I think that the Wild probably have told Pedersen that they would offer sheet him. They would they probably gave him a number, but they're waiting on seeing if Kaprizov will actually sign.
Yeah.
To see if they have the cap room to actually give it to him, which we know Vancouver won't, because I think they have $7 million left to sign both of them.
Yeah.
Sign Hughes and Pedersen.
Yeah,
So it's gonna be tough. But imagine though if Pedersen got offer sheet, Vancouver matches the Pedersen offer sheet, and then knowing that they have no money, the Wild offer sheet Quinn Hughes.
That'd be so funny.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be the ultimate troll job. That'd be so funny. That'd be hilarious.
I would love it.
And yeah, we need to see more offer sheets, kind of. I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Dahlin and Kachuk, offer sheet them," but it doesn't make sense. Because what you would do there is just do them a favor, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because they want Kachuk long term anyways, for however long, right? The most you could do there is say, okay, $8 million 1 year, offer that to him, but I doubt he would sign it with any other team.
Yeah.
Right? And then Dahlin, same with the Sabres, he wants long term, and they have the money to pay him pretty much.
Yeah.
They're not at cap floor either. So it doesn't make sense to tender offer sheets to those two. But Vancouver's really interesting, because if you offer sheet Pedersen for $7 million for however many years, because I think that's what he deserves, 7, 6 or 7,
yeah.
right? That's about where he's at. And they match it. They then have no money to sign Quinn Hughes, tender an offer sheet the next day.
Yeah.
The next day, and they just won't have the money, because unless they move something, but what can they move, really?
Yeah.
Tucker Pullman, maybe. They spent $4 million on him. He's not really that good anyway. He sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vancouver is in a tough situation. I'd like to see it happen, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
That'd be so funny. Just the drama that would go down.
I would love to see it, honestly. I'd love to see it. No. Maybe the Senators. Maybe the Sens. Get Brady and Quinn back on the same team.
No, you could have Brady, Quinn, and Josh back. No.
At Sens. Do it. Don't be boring. Go give Quinn Hughes a big number, and then be like, hey, Brady, look, we got you your best friend. Don't you want to come play for us again?
If Quinn ends up on the Sens, there's no way Brady's leaving.
No way. I think it'd be nice to see.
If Quinn comes, that means Tim is probably gonna get kicked out of the trio.
Nah, Tim can be their fourth roommate. Or he can go live with Charlotte, He can go figure out how to speak French.
Yeah, he can go. Yeah, he can go live with someone else, and then we can have Quinn, Brady, and Josh reunion.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, Toronto's Ilya Mikheyev has asked for a trade. That's whatever. I mean, the Leafs are always having people getting traded anyways. But I guess this one's important because they pretty much lost, their left side wing.
Yeah.
They don't have people there anymore, so it's gonna be hard to fill that spot. Nick Robertson, hopefully, will be around. We would love to see that. And then a couple more things. Tomas Hertl is saying that he still wants to stay in San Jose for this last year of his contract, but he's not really saying anything about, what he'll do when he hits unrestricted free agency, which is fine, I guess, in theory, because, we probably know he was going to leave anyways.
Yeah.
After Christian Dvorak was traded to Montreal, there were some Jacob Chychrun rumors. We kind of talked about that briefly. But Friedman says it's probably likely going to be Phil Kessel before Chychrun, which I guess makes sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to look at what Arizona has there and figure out what they're rebuilding around. Really, it wouldn't be Phil Kessel anyways, but you're trading away. Christian Dvorak was 24.
Yeah.
He was 24, 25. He was still pretty young. Chychrun is 23. Clayton Keller, I think, is only 23 or 24 too. I think he's 23 because the 2016 draft. If they're trading away all these pieces, I find it hard to I know they have a lot of picks, but it's hard to build your organization around something that has it's literally nothing.
Yeah,
they have 3 players under contract for the after next season.
Arizona is they're just a mess.
Shane Wright can only do you so much. I pray to God that they don't get him. I really hope that I want the Sabres to be good this year, as good as they can be, but I also need them to be not so great so they can take Shane Wright out of Arizona's hands and we can just have Shane Wright on the Sabres.
Yeah.
It'd be beautiful. We could have Cousins, Wright, and Power on there. They could all train together in the summer. It'd be great. It'd be great. But yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Everyone's oh yeah, Arizona has so many picks. Arizona has so many picks. But I'm but there's nothing on the team after next year.
Yeah, you kind of need to play games to.
So exactly, you kind of need people. You just need people. And you're gonna have they're gonna have no one after next year. They have 3 players under contract. Even if they can re-sign, their RFAs, that's still only 5 players.
And the thing
they have so many UFAs that it's not gonna matter.
And it's not like Arizona's people don't want to play in Arizona, right?
Everyone says oh yeah, Glendale's nice, everything it's a nice lifestyle there. But if you're really talking about it, let's talk about it here. They don't have the most passionate fan base. Their building is less than half full most nights. The city's not enthusiastic about you. There's really no reason to stay long term. Other than because the team is clearly trending downwards. Right? Even if they do get Shane Wright next year. What are they going to support him with? They'll have no vets. This seems to me really, really what was happening in 2015 with the Sabres when they got Eichel and then they just had no one else on the team to support him. And then the team is still bad. It's still bad. The Coyotes are going to be really, really young next year, but at what cost? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Shane Wright can't, I've said this, but Shane Wright can't do you everything. Shane Wright can't be your captain and be a rookie and be everything all at once. He can't play if there are only 5 other people on your team. He can't be the 6th person and then just play every shift.
You're not gonna get an 18-year-old playing 20 minutes a game.
Yeah, exactly. Because we saw what recently, especially with rookies, Jack Hughes touted to be really good. He had a really good bounce back season this year. But other than that, his first year he was touted to be amazing. and he was mediocre because he was playing so much.
And he was he was kind of like thrown in the deep end with like no support or anything.
Yeah, and kind of, in my opinion, kind of proved to people why everyone was kind of saying, well, he needs another year in college.
Yeah.
Because really, at that point, he was at kind of the tail end of his draft. Like his draft year. He was like one of the youngest players in the draft. And so it would have been hard for him to adjust anyways. And like Lafreniere, like he got like not a lot of ice time, but deservedly not a lot of ice time because he wasn't producing. He could only score against like the Sabres and like the Red Wings. And no, they didn't play the Red Wings last year, but you get the point. He scored against the Sabres and like the Devils. Like pretty easy teams to score against, and he wasn't producing at all. And same with Kakko, and like all the first round picks really early in the draft, like the past like 2-ish years, they haven't really done well because they've all been kind of thrown into teams where they're just not put in positions to do well. And I don't think that Shane Wright will be any different, even if he is exceptional status and he is all that. Like, it's just not. It's not going to happen with no one there to support him. Yeah. I know they have a lot of picks, but like if no one's going to be on your team next year, how are you going to play games?
Yeah.
You don't have an arena, and how are you going to play games with no people on your team? Because no one wants to be there. Like, that's just the whole gist of the story. At least I hate to use Buffalo as an example because they suck too. But at least there's
something
hope.
there. Yeah.
Hope there. There's people. It's not just picks. Sure, there are picks like coming up, but like there's not just picks involved in this. Like you have Dylan Cousins, you have Casey Middlestad, you have Rasmus Dahlin. Like you have a bunch of these young players. In Arizona, it's like Clayton Keller, and that's it. Clayton Keller and Jacob Chikrin, and that's it. And they both might be traded. Like, the picks mean nothing if the organization doesn't draft well.
Yeah.
And according to everything we've seen from the past, like, 5 Arizona drafts, they haven't been drafting well. Like, 2019, they drafted... Who'd they draft in 2019? Oh, they didn't have a first-round pick in 2019.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Because Taylor Hall?
Yeah, the Taylor Hall trade.
Yeah. Or something. Like, they didn't have a first-round pick. 2020, they didn't have a first-round pick either. They just drafted Dylan Guenther, which, like, he's not ready.
Yeah.
He's not ready. He'll play, like, 9 games max, and then he'll go back to the W. In 2018, I think they drafted Barrett Hayton.
Yeah.
He's still sitting in the A. I think the year 2016, the year before that. Oh, sorry, 2017. I don't know who they drafted, but I know they drafted Max Domi too, and he doesn't play for them anymore. Like within like 2014 to 2016, like he doesn't play for them anymore. And the fact that I can't name any notable Arizona draft picks from like the past 5 years kind of indicates that maybe their scouting team isn't very good.
Yeah.
And that I don't know. Everyone's excited about them. I'm not. I'm certainly not. And I don't want Shane Wright going there. So I need some team to be just like ridiculously bad this year for no reason. And then just pray. Pray that the lottery goes the way I want it to. Because Shane deserves better. Let's be real. He deserves so much better. Okay, and then last thing from 31 Thoughts, just that Tyler Bozak on the Blues might be signing with Pittsburgh because both Crosby and Malkin are now out for at least the beginning of the season because Crosby has his new wrist injury, I guess 6 weeks, so like 2 months-ish. And then Malkin has been rumored to be out for a while because he had knee surgery, I think. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. And then moving on to our next point. Flames signed Eric Goodbranson for some reason, and
I don't know.
other people. According to Flames beat writers, these have kind of been like done for a couple weeks now, but they're just announcing them like officially.
Yeah.
Which they say probably means they're out on Eichel. Which rip the banner. Can't add Pelletier and Zari onto there because, man, that sucks. But it would have been fun to see Eichel and McDavid on two warring teams. But we already have that with Tkachuk and Draisaitl, that rivalry there. So we don't need that. Parise signs with the Isles, as everyone expected him to, because Lou Lamoriello loves him, apparently. I'm sure they need more D-men. They do not need more D-men. Wait, is Parise a D-man?
No.
Does he play forward? Is he a forward?
I don't know.
Wait, I have to look this up. Wait, I don't even know what position he plays. Zach Parise. Is he a forward? He's a left winger.
Oh, well, that's...
He's a winger?
What?
I thought he was a D-man.
I don't know.
Whoops.
Well,
anyways, Isles need more forward depth. So I guess it's a good signing. He can play kind of on the third or fourth line or whatever, because it's not really that exciting. Nothing the Isles do, really. It's predictable. Yeah, and then on to some rookie stuff. The Sabres, they're back, practicing again. A whole bunch of them. Pretty much everyone except for, the European guys. I think Peterka is on his way. Who else is there? Ristolainen, I think, is already there in the mini camp that they're having. It's not really a camp. They're just all skating together. And I think Weisbach is there too.
Yeah.
I think he's there. Yeah. And he'll be there for the rookie tournament happening next weekend. And yeah, it's pretty exciting to see that they're all there, except for Owen. Sad, but I mean, he's having the time of his life at umich, I guess.
Owen's too busy screaming at football players.
Not even screaming, yo. He's too busy in econ. He's too busy doing econ homework, probably. Yeah. And Avs have just started their dev camp within the past couple of days. We've seen a lot of Bowen on there. We've seen a lot of Alex Newhook on their account, which is good. Love to see it. Bowen kind of disappeared. I miss Instagram Bowen so much. But
the Avs are probably there has not been a single picture of this guy in months. So we're just going to provide the content.
Yes, exactly. He honestly hasn't shown his face since he went to the Yukon with Dylan. He hasn't shown his face since he went to see Dylan. The
season ended, and then he disappeared, and then he went to Yukon, and then he disappeared again.
Yeah, exactly. And then the Leafs are also doing their dev camp right now. We know Robertson is there. Hlinka Gretzky legend, Taylor Gauthier.
Yes.
We love it. You had to be there. You had to be there to know that Sweden game. Nolan Meyer letting in 2 goals in 2 minutes. And them going to a goalie that hadn't played the whole tournament. And then they won 6-2.
That was a fun tourney. I miss Hlinka.
Oh, I miss Hlinka too. They should have let Connor Bedard play at it this year, but I guess not. And we'll never see Shane Wright captain a Hlinka team.
It's so sad. That makes me so sad.
It makes me so sad. Because he would have.
Yeah.
And then the Rangers also started dev camp within the past couple days. We know Otter got there last week.
Last week, yeah.
And then they kind of started up this week. We know that Otter's there. Braden Schneider is there with his everything, just walking up to first pair. We love to see it.
Yeah.
We love to see it. And Matthew Robertson is also there, and some of the other Rangers prospects, which is really fun. Sad to see that Laugh isn't there. That's kind of odd. But
Yeah. Or maybe
but
he
you know
is
what?
there, and people just don't care.
I just haven't seen any photos of him. That's why.
Yeah.
Here, give me a second, and I'll pull up the dev camp roster, because I know that they did release it. Yeah. Okay. No, he's not there. He's not there at all.
Okay, well that's interesting.
Yeah.
The Sens started their dev camp as well.
Oh, okay. Who's all there? Tim? Tim? Because I know he was back in Ottawa.
I don't think so. Pinto is there. Bernard Docker is there. Just
of course, the important ones.
Yeah, the ones I care about are all there. So, yeah, except for Sanderson and like a couple other college guys, the ones I care about are all there.
Are there? Yeah. Jets had virtual dev camp, so doesn't matter. Ducks have had their dev camp going. I think it's over. I think they finished it.
Yeah.
Kind of. But a lot of guys are still there. I know Max Jones, Troy Terry, I think it was Perot, and Jamie Drysdale. They all went golfing together. And then I guess they went out to dinner with Trevor, but they didn't invite him to golf. They didn't, because I guess they didn't want to lose money.
Yeah.
Because he's too good at golf, probably.
Yeah. Well, he's like, Trevor's just this rich kid from New York. He probably golfs like every day during the summer.
I know. But like, why do I feel like he's the most like masshole kind of person without actually being from Boston? Like, he seems like such a... All I'm gonna say is he seems so like that type.
Yeah. I mean, he went to school in Boston, so probably rubbed off on him.
Yeah, for like a year though. Like it wasn't that much.
Yeah,
it wasn't that long.
Also, a lot of his friends are also from Boston, so like,
yeah,
probably just.
I guess he learned tendencies.
Yeah,
he learned a bunch of their tendencies. I guess. Yeah, and then I guess finally, as for other like rookie related stuff, I know the Sabres right now are going to be having their dev camp broadcast on the radio. WGR 550 is where it's going to be on. I think on the Friday they start at 7 ET and then 7 p.m. ET. Okay, not 7 a.m. And then they start at around 3 p.m. ET on the Saturday, and then I think that's it. We already gave out the live stream link for the Arizona rookie tournament. That's going to be happening all that weekend, which will be exciting. And yeah, other than that, I think the Leafs apparently are also live streaming theirs. I don't know where to find links for that, but you can probably find it on their website or something. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I was going to say... oh yeah, and then like one more kind of final rookie thing. Ari, are you going to any of the Ducks promo stuff? Are you gonna live out your Wattpad dreams?
I'm not having my Wattpad moment. I'm not going.
So yeah, if you didn't know, that the Ducks are doing a lot of fun promo stuff. I think on the 22nd and the 23rd, they're doing more live practices. Then they are also doing... I think on the 16th they're doing their live, obviously their like open practice, and then they're doing, I think, like a weekend fun kind of signing thing. They're doing a lot in the community, which I'm shocked by. I'm like very surprised. But yeah, it'll be fun to see that. Wish you could go. Wish you could go live out your dreams.
I know. I'm so sad. It's fine.
You just have to say it's fine, but it's not fine. It's not really fine at all. I mean, kind of sad, but living in Canada, Ontario is about to shut down any moment now. So,
yeah,
it's not like you're going to head to Leafs camp. The Steelheads literally shut down their like they were like, yeah, we're not selling tickets for preseason games anymore. Like, you're not allowed to come anymore unless you have season tickets.
Yeah.
Which is like...
Yeah, the Sens...
Okay, thanks.
The Sens, they originally, I think, had tickets available for, like, the rookie games, but I can't find them anymore, so... Don't know what happened to those.
Kind of sucks. You know, hopefully during the season you might be able to catch a game.
Hopefully.
But yeah, like seems like they're not really selling preseason tickets at all. Because I know a bunch of teams haven't started selling tickets, like single game tickets.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know the Jets haven't, the Sabres haven't, I think like a couple other teams haven't. But most of the American teams have, but I think the Canadian teams have really kind of held off.
Yeah, because they're like...
Just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in Alberta, you know? But yeah, the Sabres at this point, I think, are going to probably have to start selling, like, single period tickets, because no one wants to go see a horrible team. Because what happened was basically they passed... So they started selling season tickets, and they passed the deadline with, like, less season tickets sold than they wanted to. So then they offered half plans. That deadline goes by. They sell less tickets than they wanted to. Quarter season plans now. The first time they've ever offered it. Less tickets. And then they'll start like selling one eighth of the season plans or like single tickets. I swear they're gonna start selling tickets for like periods now. Like, do you want to go see a period of Sabres hockey? Like, man. Rip the Sabres, guys.
Honestly.
But yeah. Other than that, it's time to go kind of into within our last 15 minutes here that we have. Let's go into what we're finally doing it. We're finally doing it. The Golden Trio Deep Dive. We've been putting it off for like several weeks. But now we're gonna do it. And so I guess we'll start with like kind of how they met. Because I know like they're all kind of like interconnected in terms of their careers and stuff. So all of them were kind of, you know, doing their own things in their own little towns. Dylan was in the Yukon. Bo was in Cranbrook. Kirby was in Fort Sask. And it all kind of started when Dylan broke his leg. That sounds so bad. That sounds awful. But that sounds like the worst thing I could ever say. But it all kind of started when Dylan broke his leg.
And then because Dylan moved.
That's like kind of when he decided, okay, I kind of need to move to you know, the other provinces so I don't break my leg against grown men again. Because he was like 12 and he like full on like shattered his leg in like 2 places. It was, if you've seen the x-rays, it's not pretty.
Yeah, it's
like
not pretty.
It was a really rough like fracture and stuff, and he broke his leg. And around that time, Bowen also moved from Cranbrook to play junior in Lethbridge, yeah. And then that's where it all kind of starts. I think during like those HHL years, Kirby and Bowen probably played each other a bunch of times.
Yeah. Probably
did not recognize each other. And then around when they were like kind of 14, that's when Dylan moved down to Delta, the Delta Hockey Academy. And he played there for about a year. And so the first time Bowen and Dylan ever met was at this tournament. I think it was called the Pat Quinn Classic. This is off the top of my head. Please don't ask me how I know this. I did a lot of research, but please don't ask me how I know this.
You guys don't know.
Y'all don't know how much time I spent on Twitter. How much hard work I did to find out some of these things. But yeah, so they kind of met there at like this Pat Quinn like classic tournament thing. that's like the first time they ever met. We don't know for sure, but we can assume that there were probably some Edmonton tournaments that Dylan and Kirby had met at too. Not the Brick Invitational, I don't think, but rip the Brick Invitational. It's the Brick Invitational really is just the tournament.
It's
like if you want to be
yes.
If you want to be in the NHL, you gotta get invited to the Brick Invitational.
Yeah.
Because like everyone goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so we can assume that there were some tournaments that they had met in before, but like the first time any of them had ever met each other was really that one Pat Quinn Classic tournament where Dylan and Bowen met each other. Other than like Dylan, Bowen, and Kirby like meeting in a bunch of AJHL games before, but like we'll assume that they didn't talk because they were on the other side of the ice with each other. But at tournaments, it's kind of different. And then I think after that summer was the first time Bowen and Kirby like officially met when they played for Team Alberta at, I think, what was it called? It was like, it wasn't the Canada Winter Games.
No.
It was what the Canada Winter Games was before it was the Canada Winter Games.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was what it was before they renamed it. They played for Team Alberta together with Peyton Krebs too.
Yeah.
And Dylan Holloway wasn't there yet. Wasn't there yet. Yeah, there's a lot of Peyton Krebs stuff and Dylan Holloway stuff mixed in here. Like, they all kind of know each other.
Yes.
It's very, very hockey incestuous. Like, it's very...
Yeah.
They all kind of know each other. But yeah, that's, like, the first time they met and, like, became friends. They also all went to, like, this one, like, tournament before that, kind of, in Alberta. But, like, again, they were, like, kind of on opposite sides of the ice. So, like, it wasn't really, anything huge, in terms of, like, meeting, and then in, like, I guess I would say their WHL year, they all get drafted to their respective teams. Bowen goes second overall to the Giants, Kirby third to the Blades, Dylan 19th, I think, to the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
It was, like, far down. And then, yeah, that's kind of all what happened. And then where it kind of actually starts, like, we know we said it started, like, when Dylan broke his leg, but when it actually starts is at the Yale Hockey Academy.
Yes.
It starts there. Yeah. Do you want to touch on that? Because the Yale stuff is, like, very, very commonly known.
Yeah, so basically, Yale is like, it's a hockey academy in BC. And they went there, and they met, and they became besties, and that's pretty much the gist of it.
There are lots of photos. I'll link, I have a thing. I'll link it. There are lots of photos of them from that time. We have, like, a bunch of stuff. There's, like, but that's really when they became Bowen and Dylan became, like, best friends.
Yeah.
Because that's where they actually attribute to, like, meeting each other for, like, the first time. Kirby is still not in the picture yet at this point.
Just because.
Because I guess Bowen never introduced them. And so, yeah, and then in the summer of, like, 2017, that's kind of when, like, they, all of them, kind of, not Bowen, really, Kirby and Dylan, they both played their under, like, 15 year, I guess, in the WHL, so Kirby played, like, about 20 games, and Dylan played mostly playoffs, and he scored a bunch of, like, big goals.
Yeah.
And then, when they finally all cross over, all of them meet for one. U17 camp is, like, the first time they all meet for the first time.
Yeah.
And I think who was captain?
I don't know.
Yeah. I think Kirby didn't captain. Bowen was an A on Team Canada Red, and I think none of them won that year because I think the States
US won that year.
Yeah, the States won the U17 tournament that year. Yeah, and then they were all on different teams, but Bowen and Dylan were on Team Canada Red together, and then Kirby was on the Team Canada Black team. But that's like they all kind of met at that dev camp, and that dev camp is like U17 camp is like really when they all meet each other for the first time.
Yeah.
Like when everyone kind of meets everyone, even if
Yeah.
you've been playing kind of in the same area and stuff, right? Because I think that's Jamie and Quentin all became like pretty close during that time. Or no, they did play spring hockey together for like forever. So it was like then, but also not then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have their rookie year. Bowen and Dylan both get nominated for Rookie of the Year. Dylan wins it. Arguably, Bowen could have won it too.
It's fine.
But who knows? He'll win the Calder maybe this year. Hopefully. Don't want Trevor to win it. And then we have the Hlinka Gretzky, obviously, the iconic tournament. Everyone met everyone there.
Yeah.
Peyton Krebs is there. Dylan Holloway, like the group, the World Juniors group from like last year, they all met each other.
Yeah, that's where it all started.
Yeah, they all met each other. Like, I can't even tell you. I don't even remember. I think it's like 10 guys from that Hlinka team were on this year's World Juniors team.
Yeah.
Because Kirby, Dylan, and Bowen, obviously. Krebs, Holloway, Pelletier, Korzak, they were all there.
Yeah.
Gauthier was there. Like, it was all of them. It was literally, Suzuki was there. Like, everyone who was on, like, anyone who pretty much, like, was on that World Juniors team has been to Hlinka.
Yeah.
Like, because if you're talking about the next year, too, you got Jamie, you got Quentin, you got Perfetti. Like, they were all at Hlinka, too, the next year. So, yeah, it's really interesting to see that Hlinka kind of affects... Damn it, I miss Hlinka so much. Like, they couldn't let Shane go? They really couldn't, huh?
No.
They really couldn't. And then, fast forwarding a little bit, they play the Canada-Russia series, top prospects game. Then they all do the draft together, pretty much.
The combine, the content we got from the combine, and then when they went to like St. Louis for the final is.
That time, Bowen Byram spit on Alex Turcotte. One of his greater moments. One of his best moments.
Yeah.
That's iconic. Yeah, that 2019 draft group was emphasis on the word was really tight.
They still are.
We're not going to go into what happened, but they were really tight before
things
someone's
happened.
pregame comments. Before someone's pregame comments.
Before stuff happened. They're still pretty close, I think. Like, just not as.
Nah, I think Dylan would punch Trevor in the face. If they ever met on the... No, I'm not joking.
Probably, yeah.
And, like, Jamie and Trevor are good now, but they were never really a part of that group anyways. Yeah, I think Dylan would probably punch Trevor in the face. Kirby, maybe not, because he's not a fighter. He's a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think we might see a fight between two teams that don't matter. Because
that'd be funny. I want to see people from the World Juniors fight each other.
Man, if Kirby and Dylan actually do get into that fight that they promised each other in the WHL,
that'd be so iconic.
That'd be so iconic. And then we obviously have them at the top prospects game. They get drafted. Kirby makes his debut in the NHL. Kind of pretty simple stuff. World Juniors 2020. Dylan and Bowen win it together. Kirby was supposed to be there, but
He was too busy playing in the
Too
NHL.
busy doing other things, NHL stuff, and yeah, and then pretty much that's it until 2021 World Juniors, and we all know.
We don't talk about that. We don't need to talk about
I don't know what
that.
happened there.
We don't need to talk about that.
We all know what happened there. Hopefully someone delivered his medal to him. Hopefully. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Then they all made their NHL debuts, and apparently Bowen and Dylan call each other on the daily. According to NHL.com, they call each other every day to talk. I wonder what those conversations are like.
Honestly.
Because Bowen lives with his girlfriend. So does he say, like, yeah, hey, I'm gonna go call Dylan now? What are these conversations like? And why is Kirby so excluded? That's the real question. Oh, and they went to DC together.
Yeah.
After the draft.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. But
yeah.
Became tourists. Anything else to add on that?
Kirby replaced them with Adam Boqvist. That's what happened.
Yeah, but now Adam Boqvist is gone. And so what's he supposed to do now?
I don't know.
Kirby, listen. All you gotta do is, like, show up in the photo.
Yeah.
Or, like, make a call or something. I'd be so disappointed if they ended up, like, the 2015 draft trio.
Oh.
Mitch Marner, Dylan Strome, and Connor McDavid.
Oh, no, thank you.
They don't even talk to each other anymore.
No, thank you. We don't need
Like,
that.
they were best friends, and they don't talk to each other anymore.
We don't need...
I'm waiting for the Olympic training camp to see what will happen. If Connor and Mitch get put on the same line, I just want to know...
I would love that.
When they stopped being friends.
Yeah.
Because, like, in 2017, 2018, we still saw Connor and Mitch together from time to time. Dylan was kind of out of the picture at that point, but, like, still. They can't do that. Please, Kirby, don't leave them in the dark, in the dust. Invite Kirby to your next Yukon meetup.
Yeah.
Guys. Yeah. Anything else to add other than that? Ari, do you have anything? Okay. I guess that's it for our deep dive then. We'll link the timeline that I meticulously made for like 4 hours in the description of the YouTube video, and I think in the description of the podcast on Anchor and Spotify. And yeah, let us know if you want to do any more deep dives into any kind of players' content. I do want to do a timeline on Perfetti,
Drysdale,
Byfield, and Drysdale at some point, but I don't have enough photos for that yet. I haven't gone all the way down some of their tags, so because Quentin gets tagged everything, so it's hard to kind of find stuff from the olden days, but we know it exists. We know that Cole's dad has a lot of photos of Jamie on his account for some reason. But we'll do that timeline. Let us know if you want us to do that deep dive next time. We'll figure out dates and stuff. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week with hopefully more updates on tournaments and anything else. So yeah, bye.